And today we're going to be talking about crypto markets. I'll be answering your questions. We'll be talking about the ledger drama. Plus, I'll be answering your questions as I've already said. Different location today, different place where you usually see me. I'm actually on a mini vacation over the weekend. I am at my beach house, place that I'm fixing up constantly, but it's getting better and better. And we just came up here for the weekend, just to chill, just to get away from the heat, just to get away from things. But I still want to go live and give you as much alpha as I possibly can, hence why I am here on my phone doing this live stream. So, again, we'll be talking about the markets, we'll be talking about ledger drama, and I will be answering your questions in the chat. So, if you have any questions, please go ahead, put them in the chat below, and I'll answer them as best as I can. Now, if you just wanted to know, I do have some company with me today. We have Vias here, which is just chilling on the balcony. He is going to be our co-host. So if you hear him barking or if you hear him saying anything, maybe he wants to chime in, you will get to see him. So let's talk about what's going on with the crypto markets. And while I do that, let me just grab this chair and put it next to Vias because it's a little bit more windy there. But if it's too windy, just let me know. Just let me know, and I'll move the chair or whatever. So, crypto markets looking bullish. Like I said, we are looking bullish. We are still bullish. We are in a range. And I can't really show you charts right now. I'm on my phone, but we're ranging from up from around 104 to 110k. If you want to take 100k psychological to 109k, yes, you could do that. So we are ranging and we're waiting to break out. Now, as I was saying, back with all the drama with the war and this and that, there's news for the masses and there's news for the classes. We just get the news for the classes. And I told you to ignore that. I told you to ignore that. I told you to ignore rate cuts. I told you that it does not matter. And as you saw, it does not matter. As a matter of fact, we're ranging right now, establishing stronger and stronger support every day. So, yes, I don't look at news. I don't show me the charts. I'll tell you the news. Very simple. I've been saying that for years. I've been saying that on my public live streams. I've been saying that, sorry, on my public talks, on my keynotes when I travel. Just came back from Istanbul Blockchain Week. By the way, huge alpha from Istanbul Blockchain Week. I'll tell you that video is releasing tomorrow, and news from Pudgy Penguins, news from AI projects, news from crypto airdrops, news from Kadena. I bought a lot of, you do not, I repeat, you do not want to miss that video. It's a long video, but within that video, it's about 30 minutes, 29 minutes, but within, we bring huge alpha. My group already knows the alpha, but you might not know the alpha. But watch that video because you're gonna get the alpha. So that's releasing tomorrow. So if it's your first time here, if it's your first time watching, make sure you subscribe down below and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss that video if you enjoy this live stream. If you do not enjoy this live stream and you don't like me for whatever reason, that's okay. This channel is not for everybody. I'm just telling you what's coming. Now, so we are bullish when it comes to the charts. We are bullish with Bitcoin. We are bullish with altcoins. And if you notice, the altcoins that we have been suggesting either didn't go down a lot or as low as other altcoins, or they made amazing recovery. So if you look at Pengu, and there's a huge ass B here. If you look at Pengu, if you look at Hype, if you look at Solana and Sui as our base plays, if you look at Vader, Virtuals, all the coins that we've been talking about, even our last short-term plays have been doing phenomenal. I cannot show you the charts right now just because I'm on my phone, but if you watch my other live streams, you will see for yourself. A lot of people wondering when alt season will come or alt season will come, and there's two things I'm looking at. As I made the call last few weeks, I said we're going to have two mini alt seasons, one before the summer, one after the summer, and one of them is going to go full-blown alt season more in most probability. So either this one that we are right now, because we call this mini alt season, or the next one after summer, we're gonna have a full blown alt season. Does that mean we're gonna have a drop in the summer? Yes. I'm looking for a temporary pullback in the summer. No, I do not believe we're going to go into a bear market. I think we're going to find a bottom and then we're going to go back up for one more run after the summer. But that's remain to see what kind of volume, what kind of momentum it shows once we get there, once that time comes. So I'm looking for at that briefly and we'll react accordingly, okay? As for the drama with Ledger, I know there was a lot of drama with Ledger, and I made a couple of videos getting into it. I just want to touch on it real quick because it's a lot more important and it's a lot more serious than what people may be anticipating. I'm just going to go over here because there's a wasp. I really don't like wasps. If there is like a weakness that I have, I'm fucking scared of wasps. I was a kid. I've always been scared of them. I know I look like a little bitch right now, but I'm not gonna lie or front. If wasp comes, I'm getting the fuck away. So just so if you see me screaming, waving my arms around, yes, I'm scared of wasps. Wasps. I just don't like them. There's one right there. If I tell Via, kita kseme, kita piasto. It's right there. He's looking for the wasp. It's right next to me now. Anyway, regardless, I digress. Let's talk about what we were talking about. So, talking about Ledger, a lot of people are downplaying this, a lot of people are overplaying this. The truth is, it is quite serious. I'm just going to go to the garden. I think there's less wasps down here. So let me just come down here. Ironic, less wasps down in the garden. Okay, I'm going to sit here. If the wasps come here, then I'm running. It's the time. There's a couple of hours a day that they come and they just roam around. I don't know why. So anyway, let's talk again. So there's some drama going on with Ledger. They stopped updating their Nano S. And a lot of people have given me shit in the comments without watching the video because they can't fucking pay attention because they have TikTok brain. You have to understand that it's not about Ledger Nano S discontinuing support for their Nano S. It's an old device and we get that. I understand that. Obviously, that's not... at some point, you retire old hardware. It's what Ledger has done, what they've been not so discreet about, and how they did it. So essentially, they stopped upgrading the Ledger Nano S. And they stopped doing it. We heard about this May. We started talking about this now in July. People still haven't heard the news. But they stopped supporting updates or critical or fully supporting Ledger Nano S since 2022. And that is a problem because in 2022 and after, you weren't fully supported on a hardware wallet which could potentially be holding millions of dollars of crypto. Now, they did not inform people they stopped this, or at least I didn't see it. I did see somebody in the comments say something along the lines. If you looked in the Ledger Live, you would have seen a notice. Yeah, but that's not enough for me because usually when you put your crypto on a ledger, you really don't look at it. You have it long-term stashed. Now, the issue is for those people having it locked up without their private keys, because if you have your private keys with your ledger, you're a fucking moron. What you would do is you would put your private keys in a bank vault, and then you'd put your ledger so you can use it every day. And if you're outside the country, especially if something happens, and you can't move those funds, because A, the device doesn't work because it stopped working anyway, and the Ledger Live stopped supporting it fully. We're already having problems with that. B, they stopped supporting the software, so if you use it in 2-3 years, and you don't know about this, if your system is infected, then you are going to get drained. C, a lot of people leave this for their will and they have their private keys separate, or maybe they don't find their private keys and they only find the ledger with instruction. This is an issue. It's a real issue. And then a lot of people saying along the lines, stupid comments along the lines, oh, are you comparing about your iPhone 6 getting stopped or stopped being updated? Dude, I don't hold over $1 million in my fucking iPhone 6, right? So you have to understand that everyone's situation is different. Now, for those of you saying your seed phrase, it doesn't really matter if you have your seed phrase. Yes, but there's a lot of people that hold it in a ledger that don't that have it for their kids or whatever that don't have their seed phrase. But even in the case of using your seed phrase, Ledger uses a system And different wallets use different systems. So it's not the same Bitcoin address every time you accept Bitcoin or send Bitcoin, or sorry, accept Bitcoin. This is done for safety. So if you actually upload it or use your seed phrase on another device, there is a chance that all your Bitcoin will not be shown in that wallet. Okay? Now, yes, it will be on chain. We know this. But if you don't know that, then you don't know how to fix the problem I just told you either. So instead of pretending you're a smartass and saying, "Oh my God, you just have your seed case. Buy a fucking ledger. It's only $100. I'll lend you $100, dude. I have more hardware wallets than you probably have crypto." It's not about that. It's about a lot of people getting burnt. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about this too much. I made videos about this for a reason. You can go there and watch those videos. That's fine. And if you don't, that's also fine. But there are a lot of things you don't know about Ledger. By the way, that backdoor they did, what I did not like, is when they did on the Ledger Nano X, when they did the recovery system, right? It's not about you can opt in or not. Did they, when you bought your Ledger Nano X, your X, not your S, did you opt in for recovery or the possibility for recovery? No, you didn't. So they just implemented that software without you knowing, without asking questions, and just gave it to you whether you liked it or not. Yes, you can opt in, yes, you can opt out, but guess what? You had a backdoor on your device. And you might be saying, Paul, it doesn't matter if you don't opt in, it's in 3 different countries and so on. Yes, it also is required by the fucking government of France. So if they ever do want to get into your device and they have that backdoor, they can get into your fucking device. They can claim that you can't and they won't do that because it's in different countries and different situations, well, what's the word I'm looking for? Jurisdictions, but they will. They're not going to risk their company and closing Ledger down because you don't want to lose a 50, 100, 200,000, whatever you have. Does that make sense? So, and it wasn't them having that system in place. It's about them putting it in all their devices as an option, meaning they can actually put it on and enforce it if they really want to, by the way, without asking you. There wasn't a new device that they actually mentioned this. They didn't ask you. And the only device that you can't do that is the Ledger Nano S because it's got so small of memory that you can't actually put the back door. So what does that mean? Now you might say, Paul, yeah, but you can't run this altcoin, that altcoin. It doesn't matter. Maybe I just want Bitcoin and nothing else. Right? I just want Bitcoin and nothing else. I don't care about the other coins. Bitcoin and Ethereum. And already people are having problems. So that was the rant. That was my issue. That's why I said I'm never buying Ledger again. That's why I broke it up graphically on the camera and threw it. And those of you saying, "Oh my God, ha ha ha, would you do that to your iPhone, whatever?" Dude, this is YouTube. You need, like, you haven't, either, a lot of people commenting don't understand entertainment. And then some of them know just enough amount of information to think they're smart, or they watch it on another crypto YouTuber that they like. Have you your seed phrase? Doesn't matter. It's an old device. Just exchange it. Ha ha ha. And they just repeat that and parrot that. And they don't fucking know what they're talking about because they're complete muppets. So when you comment on a YouTube video, A, watch the video if you're going to comment. B, make sure if you're commenting, you know what you're commenting about. Anyway, that said, I'm going to answer some of your questions. I'm seeing some questions. I already see a question by Mohammed. I'll go back to the beginning in just 1 second. Mohammed Abdullahi says, is Ledger X okay? I move all my funds anyway. Ledger X is fine. As a ledger, it's updated and it's fine and it's actually very good. The issue I'm having with Ledger in general is that backdoor incident I just mentioned and losing trust, so I don't use them anymore. But if you have a Ledger Nano X, you do not need to upgrade anytime soon. As a matter of fact, if you have a Ledger Nano S Plus, you do not need to upgrade at any time soon. But me personally, I moved my funds onto another device, namely the Trezor. I have a Trezor, I have an Elipal, I have a second Elipal, I have a Tangem, I have multiple hardware wallets. I even have a Ledger X and Nano S, which I do not use anymore. Okay? So you don't need to panic about it, but I do not trust them. They're a French company in Europe. They have only backdoor access devices, which I suspect They had to do that because of some sort of request from the government, right? And that's why I do not use Ledger. So do what you will. You're pretty much safe for now, and you should be safe for the next few years, maybe. But me personally, I'm not risking it. This is my view, kind of. Actually, I have a better view up here. This Diaz. This is a nice view. It's not bad, right? It's not bad. We were just at the beach earlier on. Anyway, let me answer your questions here. Hi says, man, what's up, man? The Red Piper says, the Pled Piper says, any idea when alt season? Yes, I mentioned it will either become this mini alt season now, or after summer will become a continuation into a full-blown alt season. So we call the alt season now, early, and I'm calling the next alt season after summer. I'm just saying they're both going to be mini, and one of them, or even both of them, should turn into a full-blown alt season. These fucking wasps. I don't know why they're on the balcony here. Every day around a certain hour, look, they're right here. Again, fuck's sake. Every day, a certain hour, they just come and they just wasp around doing wasp shit. Like, don't they know this is private fucking property? My dog looking at me like, you're gay. All right. Look, seriously. Look. He's like, what's up? Now he's not looking. Before he just gave me the eye. Yeah, now he's just ignoring me. But yeah, anyway. Also writes it, hi, what's up, man? Happy to see you and looking healthy. Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Factor Fam says, Harry, I just bought Japanese candlestick charting technique. That's the best book you could have possibly got when it comes to candlesticks. Congratulations. Thiago, my man, how are you? I'm praying that AGI Delissium recovers one day. Yeah, it's been on the downship for a while. This fucking wasp. I'm going inside. I'm going to continue this inside because the wasp is attacking me. So it's getting stupid. So I'm going to tell my girlfriend now that I'm going inside because I'm scared of fucking wasps. So I'm coming inside here. Give me a second. Sorry, but there's wasps. And I'm going to sit here and continue this live stream for a bit. All right, so. Good morning, says Chuck. Corty says, stamp your keys on metal. Yeah, we've done that. Well, I've done that. Anyway, I've done that with my private keys. And bury them in a plastic bag. Yes, but you also have to have a ledger or some sort of device to be able to transact easily when you're traveling and so on. Pork Chop says bold. No shit. Kudo says hi, Henry. Also right, don't forget to toss those anti-moisture beds so it doesn't rust. Excuse me? Don't forget to toss those anti-moisture beds or beads. So I don't know what you're talking about, man, but let me know. Mohammed says hi. Mohammed Abdullahi says, bro, is a fake out. Can we go back to 100? So what if you go to 105? Are you trading on leverage or are you buying Bitcoin and alts? So what? What's 109? What's 105? So what? We're ranging. We don't know if it's a fake out or not until it actually confirms. So a confirmation where I would get worried is if we drop under 98k, and make that resistance. That's when I'd be worried. But until then, we're in a range. Daniel says, damn, that sounds problematic. A passphrase still solves this though, right? Yeah, it does, but let me give you an example. I tried to use my Ledger Nano S, and it was so dimmed I couldn't use it. So I actually agree that you need to change the device. I just don't like the way they did it. First of all, they should have done a marketing or customer service campaign to inform everybody they're stopping that, and they've stopped it since 2022. And they should have done it in a little bit of a different way. They should have done it so that they communicate with everybody to know about this. Not let people buy Ledger Nano S because it doesn't have a back door, and just buy it from distributors, right? Because you could. I even suggested to buy a Nano S instead of the X because of that limitation. But anyway, regardless. But yeah, if you have the seed phrase, you should be okay. Just make sure you put it in a wallet that has the same sort of prototype so you can see your whole Bitcoin. If not, you might have to do a few things, custom things, to be able to see it all. And in most cases that won't be a problem. I just wanted to shed some light to the know-it-all so-called experts out there saying, just have your passphrase, you should not worry. I just wanted to, shed some light that it's not that clear cut. See, they think they know everything. They just know enough to be dangerous. Is Ledger okay? Ledger okay is fine, as I said. Ledger okay is fine. So is Nano S Plus. I just do not like Ledger anymore because of the reasons I explained, and I do not want to have a European country controlled or potentially controlled hardware wallet, right? Because in theory, because you can access recovery and they put that software on your Ledger X and Nano S, that means any government with the right sort of conviction can get access to it. So fuck that. I'm not playing around. If you have like a few $1,000s, then you shouldn't worry. But it depends how much money you have on your Nano S, right? What's up, BJ? Time to buy Wasp. Shit, yeah. Wasp coin. That was for the metal keys comment from Cody. Ah, right. Okay, got you. Yasu Biles, how are you? Yasu Paul says, Archivia. Dude, you have to change your username. This guy is literally named Balls in Greek, okay? Archivia means balls. And that's his fucking username. What's wrong with you, dude? I gotta say, he grabs attention. Okay, the Great Crusade. What's up, Paul? Have you ever heard of someone that had $2,500 of USDC on Coinbase, and the next day they only had 1,500 USDC on their account? No, I have not. Something's up there. It shouldn't be like that. Tire Mario, how are you? Archivia laughing his ass off. You know what's really cool with the phone? I forgot all about. I think you can do stupid shit like, let me see, retouch. Oh, retouch. Look, now I'm beautiful. Yeah, let's keep retouch off. But there's different. I think there's like a. Ah, yes. Look, you could do different like things. People talk about you because they talked about themselves. No one. Oh, I just saw this like. Check this out. I just saw this and I actually made it. So I can show pictures from my iPhone. That's pretty cool. Look, that's the last picture I had. People talk about you because if they talked about themselves, no one would listen. I actually think that's solid advice. Let me turn it off. What's this one? Green screen. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So, this is my, I'm at my, how do I get this off? How do I get the green screen off? There you go. So yeah, as I was saying, at my beach house doing this live stream for you. I'm probably gonna go back tomorrow. What kind of dog is that? Pitbull. It was actually an American Amstaff, but it's a type of Pitbull, right? There's 5 different types of Pitbull, to my understanding, not just one. Let me just grab something to drink. Give me a second, because I'm thirsty. One sec. But yeah, I'll show you in a second if there's no wasps out there. But yeah, the crypto factor is scared of wasps. Just so you know. Let's see. Checking for the wasps. Okay, it looks like they've gone for now. If you see me running and screaming, waving my hands, then you figure out what it is. Wasp the problem is. So here he is. Dia. Siko. Dia. Siko. That's him. That's my doggy. Dia. Piso. Piso. Gato. Good boy, good boy. So yeah, that's the sickle. Good boy. And that's his ball. Yes. He's like, fuck you. He's like, I'm not gonna run. You go get it. But yeah, that's my dog. So yeah, that's basically the gist of things. I am running out of battery. Just wanted to let you know. If you don't have any other questions, do me a favor though. Hit that like button if you can. Hit that like. I would really, really, really appreciate it if you hit that like button. No one's hitting it, but okay, fine. You're welcome. But yeah, if you have any other questions, just go ahead. This live stream is all for you. I do this live stream mostly so I can answer your questions. That's what I do these live streams for. Will memes go up? I was saying, so last time memes went up, I was telling you don't get back into memes for a while. I made multiple videos telling you, warning you, and explaining why. And people called me an idiot. But memes, that wasn't where you were. The last dump when we said to buy at 74, 75K, and yes, we did call it perfectly before it got there. That's why I don't understand. If you're not following this channel, if you don't subscribe to this channel, I don't know what you're doing by now. But we called that perfectly. But there's the house, by the way, in the back. Just a small. We're still fixing it, by the way, still making it. But you should have been buying utility coins. Obviously, my dog's running up here. Look, he just saw someone. He's like, "Who is that?" So yeah. Do I think Say and Arrow will 5x? I believe Say can 5x. I believe Say can 5x and probably will. Sorry. I believe Arrow can 5x and probably will. As for Say, I think it's going to do well. I don't know if it's going to do more or less than 5x. But I exchanged my Say long time ago into Sui. I told everyone to do the same. So, just so you know, right? So let me just sit here again. And if wasps, because there's wasps on that balcony. I don't know what the fuck they're doing there. I gotcha, but do you think there will be a meme coin? At some point there will be, but I'm not really subscribing into now. Once we see memes taking off, you can always get into them later on. I am holding a couple of memes. One is Pengu. The other one is Brett. The other is... It's Brett, Pengu, Snack, just as a Cardano play plus a meme coin play sort of stack. Not holding Cardano, by the way, that's why. And a few more, which I can't remember right now. And I can't really access my phone to show you. Thoughts on Ondo? Very big on Ondo. I'm very heavily on Ondo as an RWA play. I do think RWA is going to do very, very well this year. If you remember last year and the year before, I was telling you to get into AI, and I was saying towards the end of the bull market in 2025 to get into RWA and deepen. And we're already seeing how that's working out. So yeah, I think Ondo is an excellent play. Excellent play. It's a blue chip play, if you will, when it comes to RWA. Truth in Telos says, can you speak on 8.6 billion USD worth of Bitcoin that has been moved to pre-2017 software? Yeah, well, look, I saw that. The last thing I checked before I came on vacation is that it was not moved on exchanges, like some people were saying to FUD. I think it was some sort of XRP army thing. But fuck that wasp. But I'm not worried about it. And a lot of people try to look at on-chain to see what's going to happen when these big moves happen. And I just put it into the news category, news for the masses and news for the classes. We only get news for the masses in the sense that you don't know what they're going to do with these coins. Let's say I move a large amount of coins onto an exchange and I just want to FUD the market so I can buy more. Let's say you don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe it's another wallet. Maybe I'm just upgrading my wallet and I wanted to send them onto another address like I did. for whatever reason. Maybe they had it on a Ledger Nano S and they moved it, right? And because it's a large amount of Bitcoin and there's a lot of transactions, your new wallet, there's a chance it will only show the last transaction in volume of your Bitcoin. So you might move, let's say, I don't know, 50,000 Bitcoin somewhere. And if you move 50,000 Bitcoin, only 20,000 is showing in your new wallet just because it's the last transaction, because your wallet, like the Nano S, uses different addresses to accept Bitcoin for safety. So if you move it to a wrong type of wallet, you're don't get me wrong, you still have your Bitcoin, but it might not show in your new wallet. Maybe they just wanted to transfer it somewhere else. Maybe they gave it to their wife because they were dying of cancer. Maybe you just don't know. So there's news for the masses and news for the classes. We don't know why this happened. So why are you going to sit there worrying about it? It doesn't make sense. And you might say, Paul, yeah, but they could dump it all. Yeah, sure, but they're not going to dump it all. Because if they dump it all, they're going to move the price so low it doesn't make sense unless they want to be buying from somewhere else. So this will counter that. If they really wanted to sell that amount, believe me, they would do it OTC. And if they do it OTC, then that transaction won't reflect the price. So maybe they just sold to I don't know, BlackRock or somewhere, or some sort of whatever. You don't know this. So people panic about shit for no fucking reason whatsoever. Will Casper ever go up? I told you guys to get out of Casper near the top, and I told you I'm going to stay out for a while. Casper will make its move at some point, and when it does, we will get back in. Until then, our play from Casper into Bitcoin and other coins played out well. Do I think Sui can do 20x from the Great Crusade? Maybe. I don't really care. I wanted to do a 5x, which I think it will, and I'll be happy. And I'll probably sell most of my positions depending when in time in the market that is, and then keep the rest just in case it goes 20x and sell it again when it goes up more. Blaze rugged? I don't know what Blaze is. Those WAPs are out to get you. They are part of the XRP army. I would not be fucking surprised, dude. WAPs by XRP. They say that the 8.8 billion worth of Bitcoin was actually a hack. I don't believe it was. We'd know about it. No one would be able to like sell that much Bitcoin. And I don't think so. Maybe it was. Change of hands. I have no idea what anyone can spend is. No absolutely idea what that is. Again, I look at charts. There's news for the masses and news for the classes. I don't know what the news means, so I just look at charts. And so far, as you can see, it's been good. It's been good for us. And yes, I do play with narratives as well and so on. But, you know, in most cases, show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. What do you think? Hey, Verma says hi. What do you think is the greatest scam within the crypto industry? Interesting question. So there's been a lot of scams in the crypto industry. So it depends on what type of scam you want to refer to as a scam. So one scam could be that woman, I can't remember her name, she was Bulgarian, she made a lot of money with OneCoin. You also had BitConnect, and I remember talking against BitConnect. I remember warning everybody of BitConnect, and again I remember getting attacked aggressively because I did that. But I knew exactly what they were doing and how they were doing it, because I used to be in the timeshare industry. So I knew exactly the whole procedure, the whole thing, and the way they did it. Exactly. It was so easy to look at. Oh, so easy to see. But yeah, the funniest scam was definitely BitConnect. And the easiest to spot. XRP's scam marketing, not XRP itself, huge scam, with all the people they're paying to, like maybe allegedly paying to say good things about them. I mean, they're scamming themselves. and they don't even realize it. And I'm not saying scam itself is. Now they're trying to find another use case because the use case didn't work out in their favor, and now everyone thinks it's bullish because they're getting into real world assets because they failed at what they were trying to do, which is funny. But okay, maybe not a scam. They're just scamming themselves. It's just a stupidity thing from the people buying that shit. EOS was a really good scam. Would you call it a scam? Technically, no. But the longest fucking ICO ever. Right? There's so many. Hey, haven't caught you in a live for a while. Are you back in XRP? No. So we got in XRP after it broke 72 cents to $1, like I told you, and sold the previous highs, and I never got back in. I don't think I will. What do you see it doing in that fine? I'm not going away from what I said. $4 to $7. The most is probably going to go is 10, but I don't think so. $4 to $7 is what I'm looking at before the end of this bull market. And I think other coins are going to outperform it. I'm not changing my views. And even if I get this one wrong, which I won't, but even if I do, I mean, we've made so much money not doing what everybody was doing with XRP. It worked out, so there's no problem. I don't have to worry about it. Stupidity made more money on XRP than any other crypto, and I've fairly diversified. Well done. The stupidity is that, yes, you may have done that, but you also missed an entire bull market, the one before, and most of this one. And all you had to do was get in at 72 cents and sell at the previous highs, like I told you, and you would have made even more money, not had an opportunity cost. And yeah, so like, and I was shouting this for a while. So if you are well diversified, then I don't know what else you're holding. But our portfolio has consistently outperformed XRP and any other altcoin, by the way. And I've proven that week over week. I'm not saying that to show off. I'm not saying that to tell you that you yourself are stupid. I'm just saying there were better plays out there. It also depends when you got into XRP, right? I mean, if you got in right before the pump, congratulations. You probably did better than me. Which you didn't, because I got in at 73, 75 cents. But anyway, regardless. And I didn't miss an entire bull market waiting for it to go up. I got into Solana at $2 and some other coins. And this is all documented, right? So it depends on your point of view. By the way, I do make fun of the XRP army as a gimmick. Don't take it too seriously. If you're new to this channel, you've missed a lot, okay? You've missed a lot. It's a fun thing, okay? Let's see what else we have here. Did anyone else lose money in Blaze? Not on this channel, because I never recommended it. If anybody bought Blaze, if they following this channel and they bought Blaze, then yes, but most people on this channel did not buy Blaze because I never suggested it. Where are you from? AM, India, and you? Hey Verma, I'm from Greece, but I live in Dubai mostly, or back and forth in Dubai. Greatest scam is Bitcoin, like, yeah. Hey, okay, so I went back a little bit. What's the modern Bitcoin? There's just so many scams every single day. All meme coins are being launched, all pump funds, they're all scams, dude, most of them. Have you heard of 401k, CryptoPoint, and what do you think of it? I know what the 401k is. I know there's a way to buy with your 401k, but I don't know what you're referring to exactly. I appreciate your opinion, brother. No problem, man. What's the next Dogecoin for the cycle? I mean, I've called a few. If you're looking for a meme coin specifically, I'd go with Pengu. That's just me. And if you watch the video coming out tomorrow at the Istanbul Blockchain Week and you have some patience, there are a lot of calls there. Just some huge alpha in that video. If you have patience for 29 minutes, I tried to make it as entertaining as possible. There's some huge alpha there. Huge alpha. Fucking wasp. XRP army attacking. Let's go sit back here. Yeah, I get you. I just haven't got the nerve to be trading it, man. No, I get it. As a holder, you're fine. If you want to hold it and you're holding other crypto, you did well. It was a smart move. It was not a stupid move. I never said holding XRP is a stupid thing. I just said holding only XRP. Fuck, stupid shit touched me too. I just said holding only XRP is stupid, and thinking it's going to go to $100 or $1,000 is extremely stupid, because it's not going to go to $1,000. I think that's 8 times the GDP of the entire world. And I have to come into safety here again because, again, wasps. So let's have a look here. So if it's part of your portfolio, that's fine. It's a very big difference if you, whatchamacallit, if you're all in on XRP Maxi, think it's going to go to $10,000 or some shit. That's just being a moron. Oh, man. I don't have enough knowledge on trading. That's the dub in the desert. That's also very, very good to say. I do have a course on that, by the way, and you don't need the course to trade, obviously. I have free videos out there as well. But I do have a course, Invest, Trade, and Think Like the Crypto Factory. I think it's in the description down below. If not, you can go to any other video or in my About page. You might want to check it out. It's an expensive course, though. It's not for everyone. But check it out if you want. Just not waste your time. It's $1,297, and it's the full course, video course, and it also includes the indicator, my indicator, the factor line, which I use normally. I just don't use it on my phone. But yeah, you might want to check that out. Truth in Telos Minister say, may want to research anyone can spend. Supposedly, it will be used to fleece 92% of all Bitcoin. Only legacy wallets starting with 1 will be safe. All those giant Bitcoin moves. I don't think so. That doesn't make sense if it starts from 1 or first of all, SegWit. I think that sounds like complete bullshit to me. I'll research it. I will research it, but I don't believe it. But I will research it. So my Bitcoin is SegWit. Chances are, if you are on an exchange, chances are we'll know about it from Exodus or Tangent. They will probably convert it for us and let us know if that's the case. And once they do that, then you can probably convert it yourself, or you might be opted to convert it. We'll hear a lot more about it, if that makes sense. I'm holding XRP at 2007. So I got in back then at 2 cents. I think I got in at 4 to 6 cents. Rode all the way up to 380 all-time highs. Sold on the way down from all-time highs, so near the top going down, and then just didn't get back in until it burned 72 cents. But if you were holding, that's fine. You should have took profits the 2 times I told you, which was the top, incidentally, but that's a different story. No, I get you, man. I've been watching you. Just don't want to... Yeah. No, I get it, man. No problem. Again, I'm not attacking anyone's opinion here. It was supposed to say 401k crypto coin that just hit the market. I was just wondering if you had... No, I heard nothing about it. Thiago, my man, what if everybody is wrong that in 2026 the biggest bull run? That's fine. I hope so. So if everybody's wrong, first of all, let's quantify. Let's break this down a little bit. So I said that the top of Bitcoin will probably come in towards the end of 2025. We'll see. Altcoins will run a little bit more. And I said I'm going to sell a lot of my positions. And then depending on where it bottoms and goes back up, I might buy back again. So if everybody's wrong, or if I am wrong, and 2026 is the biggest bull market ever, I will be a part of that bull market. Because you're not going to have the biggest bull market ever from a high. You're going to have it from a low. So you're going to get a pullback regardless. So chances are just buy back higher. But if you buy back higher, you'll still be buying at the bottom of support. So I hope that makes sense. So here, if I sell 160, 180K, and we drop down to 110, but I see that's a bottom formation, and we're going up and we break a certain, I don't know, 120, I'll probably buy back 50% of my position. But we'll see when that happens. And I'm not being exact here, I'm just giving you an example. Will there be a bear market for Bitcoin? For Bitcoin, there's going to be a bear market for everything. Even if Bitcoin becomes gold or what, there's still going to be a bear market in my opinion. Might be a shorter bear market, might look different, but there's still going to be a bear market. Altcoins will definitely go in the bear market. But even if Bitcoin does go in the bear market, you have to understand that if the dollar is dropping and currency is dropping, it doesn't really matter. It's still good to hold Bitcoin. And that's why towards the end of any crypto run, I try to hold mostly Bitcoin. Because even if I miss the exit, I don't care. I still have Bitcoin. I know it will probably more than likely go back up, and at some point, even after a bear market, even if I don't have enough time to sell. So just so you know, I take profits into USDT and Bitcoin. My superpower is missing the notification of the live stream is. You're awesome, man. By the way, if you guys will need any basic info on crypto, if you need the basics, if you're a beginner, definitely check out Straight Up Crypto. We're partners. We do business together. And he's a manager in my VIP group. He's a manager in the VIP Factor Line group and so on. So check him out. Very good videos. Can Sui reach $10? I definitely hope so. I mean, that's one of my targets is just under 10. My first target is just under $10. So we'll see how that goes. I'm definitely very big on Sui. I think they're gonna. So watch the video I'm gonna release tomorrow. Watch the video I'm gonna release tomorrow. Let me give you an example of alpha that's shared in that video. It's an event video for Istanbul Blockchain Week. I've interviewed different people. In that video, we have the owner, the creator of CryptoDrops.com. And he literally says, Sui's gonna have an airdrop. So that's just part of the video. So watch that video, lots of alpha. I think I shared it already in my group, in my VIP group, because they get early access. If I haven't, I'll share it right after I finish this live stream. I'll go check and I'll share it. As a matter, Straight Up Crypto, did I share that in my group, in the VIP groups? Just let me know. If not, I'll share it right after this live stream. And Walrus, what's your first target? So I don't have a target for Walrus. I'm charting Bitcoin and Sui for Walrus. Because Walrus is new, there's really no technical analysis or price sort of prediction you can do to it, because there's nothing to go off of. So what you do is you chart Bitcoin and Sui, for example, in this case, the narrative-based coin. And then depending on that, whenever that tries to drop off, that's kind of like when you would sell your Walrus. And that's the same goes for DeepBook, and as an example or another chain, you would do the same, if that makes sense. So you don't target Vapor, you target virtuals, and that's just an example. Obviously, you don't do virtuals either, but you basically target that, and that's how you kind of sell. What's your Bitcoin target? So a Bitcoin target hasn't changed. I said in late 2022 that my target for 2024 is $100,000 to $140,000. We got that, and my top for Bitcoin on this cycle is not that much different. It's 100 to 140,000 still. But I said if we break 140,000, we're probably going to hit 180, maybe 200. But I'll be selling at 180, and then I would reevaluate. If we go over 200, we come back down to 200, make that support. I'll probably buy back in with a small position, if that makes sense. Do you stake your Walrus? No, I do not. I don't do staking that much. I used to. Now I don't, because I like being liquid so I can actually sell. So I told everyone to sell altcoins in December and January before Trump took office. I called a Trump dump. We got the dump. I said it's not enough. We're going to go lower. And I converted my altcoins into Bitcoin. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I was staking. So I like doing long-term trading moves. I think they give a lot more than staking, unless you have a huge amount of staking, which is then a risk. But that's just me. I'm not saying it's wrong to stake. I think the best DePIN is Peak. I've heard of it. I haven't really extensively looked into it. Do you stake your... No, I